Are you tired of making the same old promises to yourself every single year, only to fail before the end of January? Well, stick with me in this episode because I'm going to help you to change the pattern by changing the word. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Speaker and Trainer of the Year and Master Coach Trainer. And today I want to start our conversation afresh in 2022 by helping you to start your New Year's revolution. Well, hang on a minute, Grant. Didn't you get that wrong? Isn't that a typo? Am I reading that? Am I hearing that correctly? Yes, you are. You see, when most people make New Year's resolutions, they tend to let them go. You know, we all have heard before where people in gymnasiums who have been members all year, in the first 2 weeks of January, they get really upset because they can't actually get on a machine. But it's okay. They only have to wait for a couple of weeks and then there's plenty of machines to get on, because those people who made a New Year's resolution to get fit, to join the gym, to do whatever it is, they didn't really do it with the right level of intention or the planning behind it. So it just became another thing that they were going to do. Now, this isn't a judgment call here. I've done this many times, and that's why I no longer make New Year's resolutions. Instead, I get more strategic. I'm getting more passionate about this, and I'm actually starting my own revolution. Now, let's not get carried away with the term revolution. A revolution, if you look in the dictionary, has several meanings. The first one is a violent overthrowing of our government or political powers and taking a stance by force. I'm not talking about that, or am I? Because there's some elements in that we can use in what we're going to be talking about today. It's also, a revolution is going in a circle. A car is measured its engine speed by revolutions per minute. Every year we make a revolution around the sun. But there's one definition that I really, really love in the dictionary. I'm going to read it to you. It says, a dramatic and wide-reaching change in conditions, attitudes, and operations. So that's why, instead of New Year's resolutions, which are old and don't work, what I want to invite you to do is come with me. And I want you to start your revolution. So some of the key elements that we talked about in some of those definitions are what we need to look at here. And then I'm going to give you 5 key principles and steps that you need to take so that you can actually start this revolution and get the success you want at the end of the year. So we talked about the violent side of things and taking it by force. The reason why political revolutions happen is because people feel like there's an injustice. People feel that they've been disempowered. People feel that they no longer can stand for what's going on, and it's time to take a stand and to take back what's been taken from them. Well, I want to encourage you that your life, your goals, your dreams, your vision, your destiny are worth fighting for. So I want us to take some of those elements out of there, and the biggest one is passion. For you to be able to get where you want to go in 2022, you have to be sick and tired of the pain that you're going through, and you have to have a big enough purpose and reason to make the change, because just like going to the gym gets you a physical body that you can only dream of right now, it takes work. There's going to be days when you don't feel like doing it. There's going to be weeks when you feel disillusioned. There's going to be months where you want to quit. But when you take a stand, when you start this revolution, when you put the elements in place, you will achieve what it is that you want to achieve this year. Over this entire month, I'm going to devote January to helping us all to prepare to win and to get the results that we want out of 2022. Today is about firing you up. I've come back from my break, even though it was only a week away from talking to you, ready to go. I got a passion. I'm ready to help you by helping myself and then telling you what it is that I do. And if you come along on the journey as well, then that's a bonus. So there are 5 key elements to starting this revolution, and not only starting it, getting to the end with the results that you want. Let me take you through them. Number 1 is pick a theme. Every year, I like to have a big word that when I say that word, everything that I'm doing this year is moving towards that. So we've just come out of a holiday season of Christmas, and it's a theme where you can look around you and see things that remind you of that's what we're doing right now. So when we start this revolution, when you start your revolution, I invite you to give some thought around the theme. What is the theme for you? I've had themes over the years like momentum, where in the year before I've done lots of things, but now I want to get the momentum from that. Another one has been consolidation, where I've taken all those elements of the things that I've done in the year before, and it's now time to bring them all together to achieve a certain result. For me this year, my theme is celebration. And celebration is in certain areas of my life. So this year will be my 60th lap around the sun, and I am going to celebrate turning 60. Unfortunately, in my 50th year, I had cancer and lost a thumb and had some major issues and health challenges going on, and I didn't really mark that milestone. But I'm going to celebrate this year. I'm not going to wait, though, to the 20th of June when I turn 60. That's going to be the theme for my entire year. So I'm going to celebrate progress. I'm going to celebrate the small wins. I'm going to celebrate the things that I've got, my beautiful family, my home, my friends, my practice, all those sort of things. And I'm going to celebrate you. I celebrate all the time when people join this conversation, when people send me notes and let me know how something that I said in one of these videos, or if you're listening on the podcast, helped them to change their life. So this entire year for me is about celebration. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything this year. I'm just going to sit back, put my feet up and celebrate. But it's what's going to be in my mind. So even in the times that aren't going exactly as I want them to go, I'm going to remember your theme is celebration. So even in a time when it's not working, I can celebrate the lessons that I'm learning. I can celebrate how far I've come rather than be concerned about how far away I am from the goal. So you get it. Pick a word, pick a theme, so that every time you see that word, it makes you think about the end result. It makes you think about the purpose of why you're doing what it is that you're doing this year. Number 2 is to send a message, just like when different revolutions around the world have occurred. The leader of the revolution sends out messages and propaganda and lets people know, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. In your life, whether you're looking at this from a whole of life perspective or just in your practice, what you need to do is let people know that this is the stand that you're taking this year. If it's around your own personal development, if it's around some limiting or false beliefs that you've been carrying for many years, then make a stand. Social media, although it consumes so much of our time, can be really great to do this. For years, what I've done is whenever I've decided to do something and it fits my goals and my plans and my overall vision, my values and my ethics, I'll throw it out there on social media and say, hey, I'm going to do this. And many countries of people builders were opened up by me speaking it into existence and making myself accountable, by putting my integrity on the line. So send a message. I'd love to invite you to start that by wherever you're watching this or listening to this, by letting me know and putting a comment in. What is the revolution? What are you fighting for this year? Remembering that we're doing this as a personal revolution around winning, around getting the results that you want, not those violent political ones that we talked about before. Number 3 is to enlist your people. Whenever you want to do anything, particularly a revolution, you need the right people around you. So if we look at the other side of that, part of this process is also to remove the people from your life, from the conversation, who are negative towards what it is that you're wanting to do. Now, there's ways of doing that, and we can talk about that later on in the month. But what I really want you to understand here is that a journey that you go on with others, it just halves the burden. It just cuts it down even further. Because what you do then is you have people that are cheering you on and you're cheering them on, but you're like-minded. The context of what it is that you're wanting to do is the same. It's the same cause. It's just personalized by your own individual needs and circumstances. This also helps you to have people who you can be accountable to and you can collaborate with. So make sure that as you go on this revolution, that you enlist the right people, that you bring people in, whether that be your coach, whether that be your friends, your family, who you let know the deeper elements of your plan and what it is and how they fit in. And you get the support and encouragement and accountability that you need. Number 4 is to create a strategy. One of the biggest challenges that I see is that people just get into the year. They just sometime in January, might even be in February, they go, look, I better get this year happening. And they just take off and they just go back into the same rut that they were in before the end of last year. They bring forward the challenges from the past. In December, we went through that whole process of reflect, refocus, relaunch, and we looked at the things that didn't go well and we extracted out of them the lessons that we could take forward. So if you haven't done that process, it'd be great to go back and to do that. And then create a strategy that purposefully tells you what you need to do and when, so that you can go from where you are now incrementally to where it is that you want to be at the end of the year. I'm not talking about some huge plan that's 50 pages long that you spend all of January doing and then never execute. I'm talking about a plan that clearly shows you the big rocks that you need to focus on, what pebbles underpin those, and then what it is that you need to do and when you need to do it, so that you can get the progress that you need to arrive at the end result. And number 5 is execute consistently. Any strategy, any plan that you put together is only of value if you actually do something with it. So if we go back through the elements that we've already got of having the right people around you, having a theme, having the cause and purpose clearly out in front of you, having those big rock projects and actions and everything laid down, we can clearly then take the first step. Every revolution starts with an initial action, and then it continues to move forward towards the end result, the goal, the vision, the purpose that you want, by consistently taking action, by consistently reflecting, refocusing, making changes as you need to, and then moving forward again. So there you have it. 5 key elements. for you to be able to start and complete your New Year's revolution. How much difference does changing one letter in a word make to your success? So there you have it. No longer are you concerned about a New Year's resolution. You've now changed that S to a V, which stands for your victory. And I invite you over the coming weeks to stay with me as I lay down even more principles and take you through step by step things that you can do in January to make sure that you get more done in this year than you've ever done before, to get to those results and to finally go beyond having a great idea on the 31st of December to getting to the 31st of December 2022 and looking back and going, wow, what a revolution. I'll see you then.